Hare Krishna, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Continue reading from Caitaniya Caritamita. We are on Adi Leela, chapter 10. We have been reading the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, to text 53. We are reading about Gadadhar Prabhu. Gadadhar Prabhu is different from Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Prabhu is an incarnation of the effulgence of Srimati Radharani. And Gaur-Ganadesh Deepika says that he is the incarnation of Chandrakanta, the effulgence of Srimati Radharani, and Purnananda, the foremost of Lord Brahma's very dear girlfriend. So that's how Gadadhar Prabhu was associate of both of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So reading on, once while Sri Gadadhar Das Prabhu was returning to Bengal from Jagannath Puri, with Nityananda Prabhu, he forgot himself and began talking very loudly, as if he were a girl of Rajabhumi selling yogurt. And Srila Nityananda Prabhu noted this. So the devotees in Bengal would visit Jagannath Puri every year to visit Lord Chaitanya. So now this pastime is happening when the devotees now they're going back from Puri to Bengal. So Gadadhar Prabhu is going back with Nityananda Prabhu to Bengal, and then he's speaking in the mood of a gopi, as if he were a girl of Rajabhumi selling yogurt. That's the gopi. Another time, while absorbed in the ecstasy of the gopis, he carried a jug filled with Ganges water on his head, as if he were selling milk. So these are the pastimes of Gadadhar Prabhu. He's the eternal associate of the Lord. Effulgence of Srimati Radharani of herself. So he was in the mood, conjugal mood, Madhurya Ras, in the mood of a gopi. And sometimes he would manifest this mood. So it seems he was carrying a pot of water on his head, and he was in complete ecstasy, and he was in the Braj Leela. His consciousness was in Braj Leela, and he was acting as if he was a gopi selling milk. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the house of Raghav Pandit while going to Vrindavan, Gadadhar Das went to see him, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so glad that he put his foot on his head. Raghav Pandit, we heard, is one of the close associates of Lord Chaitanya, and he was staying in Panihati. So then when Lord Chaitanya was going to Vrindavan, he came to Raghav Pandit's house in Panihati, and so Gadadhar Prabhu came to meet him there. And Lord Chaitanya and Gadadhar Prabhu had some exchanges, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so glad that he put his foot on the head of Gadadhar Prabhu. When Gadadhar Prabhu was present in Eniyadaha, he established a Bal Gopal Murti for worship there. Sri Madhav Ghosh performed a drama known as Dan Khand with the help of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Gadadhar Das. This is explained in the Caitanya Bhagavad Antya Leela, chapter 5, text 318 to 94. So Gadadhar Prabhu, he's from the village Eniyadaha near Calcutta, and over there he established a temple of Bal Gopal. We were hearing earlier yesterday that how the worship of Bal Gopal was going on, And then he also assisted in a drama called Dan Khand, in which Madhav Ghosh performed. And this pastime is explained in Caitanya Bhagavat. The tomb of Gadadhar Das Prabhu, which is in the village of Enyadaha, was under the control of the Samyogi Vaishnavas and later under the direction of Siddha Bhagwan Das Babaji of Kalna. By his order, Sri Madhusudana Mullik, one of the members of the aristocratic Mullik family of the Narikela Danga in Calcutta, established a Pathabari monastery there in the Bengali year 1256. AD is 1849. So Srila Prabhupada is giving us some information about the tomb of Gadadhar Das Prabhu, who's taking care of it, and gradually it came to the Mullik family of Calcutta, and this is in 1849. He also arranged for the worship of a deity named Sri Radhakanta. His son Balai Chanda Mullik established Gaur-Nitai deities there in the Bengali year 1312 or AD 1905. Thus, on the throne of the temple are both Gaur Nityananda deities and Radha Krishna deities. Below the throne is a tablet with an inscription written in Sanskrit. In that temple, there is also a small deity of Lord Shiva as Gopeshwar. This is all described on a stone by the side of the entrance door. We can see Srila Prabhupada takes so much trouble to give us so much information to show the authenticity, to give us so much evidence of all in these temples that are established and who's taking care of the temple, how we can visit them. He also gives the name of the railway station, how to go there. So in case we want to go, we can go. Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga Prabhustani Yaite Sabilaina Yanra Sangha. Shivanand Sen, the 24th branch of the tree, was an extremely confidential servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone who went to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya took shelter and guidance from Sri Shivananda Sen. So Shivananda Sen, he would arrange for the passage of the devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri. Prativarshe Prabhugana Sangete Laya Nila Chale Chale Nam Pathe Palana Kariya. Every year he took a party of devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya. He maintained the entire party as they journeyed on the road. So he was the one, he would pay for their tolls, he would make sure everyone's okay, he made all the arrangement. It was not as easy. Traveling before was not as easy as it is now. There were no proper roads, highways, cars. No. They were going through the forest, through the different roads. So travel before used to be, a little bit, would take a little longer. And Shivananda Sen would make sure everything is going comfortably and nicely. Bhakti Kripa Karena Prabhu Etina Swarupe Sakshad Avesha Avirbhava Rupe. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestows his causeless mercy upon his devotees in three features: his own direct appearance, Sakshat, his prowess within someone he empowers, Avesh, and his manifestation, Avirbhav. The Sakshat feature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is his personal feature, presence. Avesh refers to the invested power, like that invested in Nakula Brahmachari. Avirbhava is a manifestation of the Lord that appears even though he is personally not present. For example, Sri Sachimata offered food at home to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he was far away in Jagannath Puri. And when she opened her eyes after offering the food, she saw that it had actually been eaten by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, when Srivas Thakur performed Sankirtan, everyone felt the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even in his absence. This is another example of Avirbhav. So Lord Chaitanya's mercy here is described in three features. That how does he bestow his mercy? His own appearance, direct appearance, sakshat. He appears personally in front of the devotee, sakshat. Or he empowers someone, avesh. He is empowering another personality with his power. That is called avesha. And he gave that power to Nakul Brahmachari. Nakul Brahmachari was invested with the power of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, what is Avirbhav? Avirbhav is that although the Lord is not there, he comes. He's personally not present, but he appears. Like every day, he used to go to the house of Sachi Mata to accept the food that she had cooked for him. He was living in Jagannath Puri. She's living in Navadvip. Every day, Sachi Mata is cooking food for her son. And every day he would come to accept it. This is Avirbhav. It's many times it happened. Many times that Lord Chaitanya would do that. And here is also mentioned in Srivas Thakur's uh, Sankirtan. Everyone felt the presence of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is another example of Avirbhav. Did anyone have any questions or comments? If no, then we can read a little more. Sakshate Sakala Bhakta Dekhe Nirvishesha Nakula Brahmachari Dehe Prabhura Avesha. The appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in every devotee's presence is called Saksha. His appearance in Nakula Brahmachari as a symptom of special prowess is an example of Avesha. So when the devotees could see Lord Chaitanya directly, that's called Sakshat. But he empowered Nakula Brahmachari, that is called Avesha. Avesh, Avesha, symptoms of power. Pradyumna Brahmachari, Tanra Age Nama Chila, Nirsimhananda Nama Prabhupachita Rakila. The former Pradyumna Brahmachari was given the name Nishimhananda Brahmachari by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there was a brahmachari named Pradyumna Brahmachari, great devotee of Lord Nishingadev. So Lord Chaitanya called him Nishimananda Brahmachari. Tan hate haila Chaitanya Chaitanyera Avirbhav Alaukika Aiche Prabhura Aneke Swabhav. In his body there were symptoms of Avirbhav. Such appearances are uncommon, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed many such pastimes through his different features. In the Gaur-Gaunadesh Dipika 73-74, it is said that Nakula Brahmachari displayed the prowess Avesha and Pradyumna Brahmachari the appearance Avirbhav of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nakul Brahmachari got the powers. Lord Chaitanya gave his powers to Nakula Brahmachari. And to Pradyumna Brahmachari, he appeared there. So there are many hundreds and thousands of devotees of Lord Chaitanya, among whom there are no special symptoms. But when a devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu functions with specific powers, he displays the feature called Avesha. So sometimes Lord Chaitanya would do that. He would invest a certain power in a certain devotee, and that is called Avesh. Because Lord Chaitanya is giving this power to a certain devotee, like as he's given to Nakul Brahmachari. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally spread the Sankirtana movement, and he advised all the inhabitants of Bharatvarsh to take up his cult and preach it all over the world. The visible bodily symptoms who follow such instructions are called Avesha. So Srila Prabhupada is pointing out that this Sankirtana movement, the Krishna consciousness movement, is inaugurated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally spread the Sankirtana movement, and his instruction to everyone who's born in the land of India that take up this Krishna consciousness and preach this Krishna consciousness all over the world. Take up the chanting of Hare Krishna and give this chanting of Hare Krishna to everyone. And Prabhupada is saying that any devotee who follows these instructions, the symptoms, bodily symptoms visible, are called avesha, because it's all the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who are we to do anything? If anyone is able to do any preaching, it is the empowerment of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya has empowered each of us. We simply have to take it. That's it. He's doing everything. We simply have to be an instrument. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has delivered the entire universe. Yeah, he's done it. We simply have to be instruments in his hand. So Srila Shivananda Sen observed such Avesh symptoms in Nakula Brahmachari, who displayed symptoms exactly like those of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Caitaniya Caritamita states that in the age of Kali, the only spiritual function is to broadcast the holy name of the Lord, but this function can be performed only by one who is actually empowered by Lord Krishna. The process by which a devotee is thus empowered is called Avesh, or sometimes it is called Shaktya Avesh. So we can see how Srila Prabhupada was empowered personally by Lord Chaitanya, because Srila Prabhupada spread the chanting of the holy name all over the world. And that's why he's called Shakti Avesh, empowered, one who is empowered by Lord Chaitanya to do this function. Srila Prabhupada single-handedly spread the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra everywhere, all over the world. Pradyumna Brahmachari was formerly a resident of a village known as Pia Riganja in Kalna. There is a description of him in the Antya Leela of Sri Caitanya Caritamita, second chapter, and in the Antya Kanda of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapters 3 and 9. So we are going to be reading more about Nakul Brahmachari and Pradyumna Brahmachari later on. And Nakul Brahmachari, he was called Avesh incarnation, and he was tested by Shivananda Sen. Shivananda Sen did not want to accept just like that. So he tested Nakul Brahmachari, and he was able to understand, yes, oh yes, that Nakul Brahmachari is being specifically empowered by Lord Chaitanya. So we'll be reading about these two personalities later. And so that in age of Kali, the only spiritual function is to broadcast the holy name of the Lord. This is what it is. All the scriptures are saying that chant the holy name, distribute the holy name, but this distribution can be done one who's empowered by the Lord, and we have been given the holy name. So let's feel ourselves fortunate and take up the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We'll stop here if there are no comments or questions. Okay, thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Caitaniya Caritamita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai.